Hello everybody, welcome to the Labyrinth of Limitations. This is the unveiling of version 1.2.0 of the Labyrinth app. So this video I'm making with Zoom and a screen share, and I'm going to try to be very careful to not talk and have the app make sound at the same time because that doesn't sound so good. So I've been working on this for months and very excited about some of these features, especially the one I'm talking about in this video. If you are a Labyrinth subscriber, thank you for subscribing, and all you have to do is just go to my website. I'll have the link in this video description, and you can download the trial, run the installer, and it will automatically uninstall the old version and put the new one in. And it should just load up recognizing your serial number, and everything should be great. You can always contact me if you have any issues, but it's been working well with the beta testers. So here we are. What we're talking about today is the ability to import and export playlists, which means I can share lessons with you, and also when you do future app updates, you can save all of your songs and import them into the next version. So the app loads with these 4 songs. First 8 measures of all the things you are. It's got first 8 measures, all of rhythm changes, and okay. So now here's the thing: we can import playlists. So I'm going to hit the import playlist button, and I've already downloaded what I'm going to put another link in the video description for, which is this file that has a different playlist that's a lesson. So I'm going to walk you through the meaning of this lesson, how this works, so that you could do this lesson with the new version of the app. So now the playlist has changed. Okay, so I'm going to select this. And these are all little different ways of playing a dominant 7th. There's more than these ways, but this is kind of communicating a bit about how to use this tesseract to understand more and see more movement, which I think is valuable. So here I am. The first one is really straightforward. It is a 2-5-1 in B flat. It has E flat major 6, which is also C minor 7, and then it goes to F dominant 7th over F dominant 7th. So nothing surprising there. And then B flat major 6. And so now, of course, the F dominant 7th, we can move. Right? So we can move through a scale of chords. Sorry if I talked while the app was happening there. I'll try to remember not to do that because it just doesn't let you hear me speaking. Okay, so here on F7, you can see that always whenever the dominant 7th is the substitution chosen, as opposed to, look at these. So all of those are possible choices, but the dominant 7th is what this example is showing, and it will always be in this node of the tesseract. Okay, so now let's look at the next example. And what I want us to understand about this tesseract right now is that the top corner is a fully diminished 7th chord, and the bottom corner is a fully diminished 7th chord, but a half step lower. So this is here, and then this is just moving down. But if I think about that, what are all the ways that I can move down one at a time? Like that. These are all possibilities of moving down, and that is represented by all of this. Let me get my help straight here. I did something funny just now, but there's the diminished. So these are ways of getting from here to there. Okay, so that being the case, let's look at the next lesson. And we can see now it's playing this diminished at the bottom of this tesseract. Another thing to understand is that this tesseract is in a chain, so when I hit up, watch this top note, it says B flat, B natural, C, D flat, D, E flat, E. So it's going around this kind of circular space, chaining, because the bottom, see, E will now be down here. As F is up there, E is down there. So it's basically in the chain, it would be right here and here, you see? And so that's important to recognize. So here I am on the diminished, and if I move down one tesseract, that diminishes up here, and then here is that dominant seventh. So this diminished is just one note. You can see the note being moved like that, right? So that is just... So in other words, this diminished potentially expresses 4 dominant sevenths because it's almost all of these dominant sevenths. So check it out. I'm going to get rid of some stuff. And just look at this. So you go, there's F7. I move a different note down, A flat 7. Move the E flat down, it becomes D7 and E7. And in each case, 3 out of the, see this note, and this note are all notes from the A fully diminished seventh, meaning that this chord is almost this chord, almost this, this is almost all of these, right? And that's the idea of family, that's part of the idea of family. And what we're doing is we kind of, when we're looking at things this way, we're flipping the script a bit and saying the reason why any of these get to go to where they go to is because they are almost this. So really the original idea is that A, fully diminished seventh, goes to B flat. And that is the diminished within the B flat major 6 scale of chords. Right? That's what that is. So that's the idea. So now let's continue forward with this idea. And now we're looking at the 6 on the 5 and see where it is right here. And here is the diminished. And then if I hit down, here's that same diminished and here's that dominant seventh. And notice the direction of this line and it goes up this way, right? So that is showing that relationship. So that's the idea there, and I think it's going. So if it were F dominant 7, messed up there. If it were C minor 6, that's... So that's the those are different versions, or I could do F fully diminished 7, F sharp fully diminished 7th, which is the A, and I go, right? All of these pretty. You know, it's kind of goofing off in those spaces. So that is showing us this relationship. We can skip down here and we can see the relationship further. It's just playing, that's the 6 on the 5, the diminished, the dominant 7th, and B flat. So now we're going to skip on over to the tritone. And check this out. There's the tritone. Here's F7. And this is always the way it's going to be in the geometric space. Anytime it says, let me see. So anytime it says dominant 7th, it will be over here. Anytime it says tritone, it will be right there. Does that make sense? And so now, if we look at it for a bit, there it is. There's that tritone. And now, looking at the next lesson, we go to the Tritones Minor. We go to the Tritones Minor, and the Tritones Minor is just the 6 on the 5 of the tritone. So watch. See, this is right here. Here's that A diminished. Here's the 6 on the 5. here's the A diminished. I'm going to hit down. There's that B7, which is the tritone. Here is the dominant 7. B7 is the tritone. It goes up to the diminished in this slanted rightward direction. And I continue slanting rightward into the next tesseract. And there we go. So heading east, and then heading west, heading west. Now I'm going to go over to here. There's the dominant 7th, the diminished, and heading in that same direction to the 6 and the 5. So now we can look and see there it is, and now it's going to go up to here, which will then be down here because we're in the next tesseract up. There it is right there, and then we'll go to B flat. Which is nice to see. You can arpeggiate like so. Yeah, pretty sounds to be explored. So that is just some movement on a 2-5, and we're just looking at the different ways of playing. If we had C minor 7, which is just E flat major 6, you know, so that is F7. That's F7, F sharp diminished, that was the octatonic that expresses the diminished, and then the 6 on the 5. So pretty stuff. And then you have the tritone, which is same. Okay. Pretty stuff. And then you have the tritones minor, which is so all of these options, and they're explored in Lesson 1. You can move around in the app and check it all out. I hope that's been helpful, and that this comes across clearly. And I'm going to follow up with more features of version 1.2.0. But my favorite one is the ability to import and export playlists. More to come. Keep practicing.